Good afternoon to everyone. Hope that everybody is in good health and great spirits. On behalf of Twasta, IIT Madras, and Habitat for Humanity, I'm delighted to welcome this august gathering of intellectuals here today for the inauguration of India's first 3D printed house. Favoring the development of homegrown technologies have always been the cornerstone of Twasta's foundation. This, along with the Indian need for affordable housing, provided us with an incredible opportunity for developing our solution. This structure at IIT Madras is the culmination of Twasta's efforts in construction 3D printing spanning over a period of 3 years. We are truly honored and humbled that you have been kind enough to join us today on this special day. Thank you very much. The 3D printed house stands testament for engineering feats that are possible today as construction stands on the brink of embracing technology and automation. In other words, there exists a tremendous scope for rapid and lean development of buildings that are affordable, mass customizable, and sustainable, be it homes, shelters, commercial spaces, or any physical structure. Today, we wish to unveil the combined efforts of Twasta, IIT Madras, and Habitat for Humanity towards the same, hoping that this will change the outlook of Indian construction industry, revolutionize its practices, and thereby impact many a life in the future. A brief welcome address. I'm happy to say that Twasta is playing a host to rather spectacular panel of guests today. Representing the prime of our nation, we have here with us our very own Professor Bhaskar Ramamurthy, Director, IIT Madras. He is a renowned scholar, a celebrated academician, and has served as the director of this esteemed institute for almost a decade now, having played an influential role in the growth of many startups on this IIT Madras soil. Mr. Anup Nambiar, Country Director for India, Habitat for Humanity, a passionate individual with diverse experience across multiple corporate and development sectors. He presently leads the Tel Villiger Center of Habitat for Humanity in India and has been instrumental in facilitating efficient and inclusive housing market systems. We welcome you, sir. Professor Manu Santanam, Professor Koshi Varghese, Professor Ravindra Gettu from Department of Civil Engineering, Indian Institute of Technology, Madras. Three wonderful gurus who have played a vital role in shaping of Twasta's foundation. We are also joined by yet another eminent individual, Sri N. Venkatraman, Additional Solicitor General, Government of India. Prior to his appointment, Venkatraman sir was a senior advocate, a noted jurist in taxation and commercial law, and one of the most sought after counsels with an unblemished career of more than 31 years. His sphere of expertise and knowledge spans over direct and indirect taxes, constitutional law, regulatory law, to name a few. We are truly honored to have you here with us, sir. Once again, I welcome the esteemed gathering to this inaugural event. Thank you all for your presence, and I hope you find the event enjoyable. Moving on, I now request Professor Ravindra Gettu, Dean of ICSR, IIT Madras, from the Department of Civil Engineering, to address the gathering. Professor Ravindra Gettu would be addressing us on the topic related to 3D printing in construction.
Professor Koshi Varghese, Professor Manu Santanam, all the other dignitaries and friends from Twasta, Aditya, Vidya Shankar, and Parivartan, who have made this possible, brought out their vision, and shown us that it can come true. Construction in India has a lot of targets. We have a lot of infrastructure to build. We have a lot of housing units to complete to meet our demands. And for this, we have a lot of challenges, and we need a game changer. The game changer has to be something that will guarantee high quality in construction, which is often an issue when we talk about housing in particular. We need speedy construction. That is where cost is lost and the demand builds up. So we need technologies that provide for this fast construction, ensuring good quality as if we would get in a factory. So that is where 3D printing comes in. So 3D printing, because of the robotics involved, because of the intelligence, the artificial intelligence involved, provides for high quality and fast construction. We don't have the need for formwork, so much of labor, so much of refinishing and redoing. That is often the case in a lot of our construction. So I'm very glad to be here. I'm very happy that this is happening with IIT Madras support. Twasta has done an amazing job with mentors, Professor Manu Santanam and Professor Koshi Varghese, of taking this idea, this vision, this dream, and making it happen. You will all see the actual building. It is a full-fledged home or house and can be easily replicated. And you can see that good quality has been achieved and at a very good construction pace. Thank you.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. All the dignitaries who are participating, as well as my young friends in Swasta. I'm happy to be here to be a part of this important event. And when we look at what Professor Ravindra just said in terms of 3D printing being an exciting technology, we are really excited to bring this from what was just a concept to where it is today. But we all realize we really have a long way to go from taking it from where it is now to making an impact in the Indian industry. And if we look at some of the challenges which our industry faces in adopting technology, it is actually multifold. I mean, not just technology, our industry has a lot of challenges otherwise. But when we from IIT look at it, we look at it with a technology lens a lot of times. And we just take a look at the construction industry and we find that the unorganized sector, first of all, is much, much larger than the organized sector. And if we go into the organized sector itself, we find there is a lot of barriers to being able to adopt technology. We first see that when you look at the large contractors, there are very few people who are in a scale where they can adopt technology and use it. And when you go down from the first three large contractors below, there's very, very small, they've become much, much smaller. Now, in addition to this, a lot of times our contractors tend to follow what the client wants. And sometimes we as clients, whether it's IIT Madras, whether it's government, or whether it's our large clients, have to actually demand this from the construction contractors, demand technology, demand better processes. And this is something which we really need to have an impact on. So we see technologies like 3D printing being able to scale only if there is a demand from the client side. And this is where we are happy that people like Habitat for Humanity have come forward to be able to take this technology at this innovation stage, take it to a demonstration stage, but we need a lot more support like this to be able to take it to the next phase. Now, as we look at clients, we have seen several areas where clients who get involved with the construction process are able to make a difference to how technology is adopted. We have very few case studies of technology in India being adopted in India and scaling. But we have a lot of examples of antiquated technology from abroad being brought in and being made to use in India. We are really hoping that this 3D printing technology, which we have actually developed here, 3D printing being in its nascent stage, we are actually, along with the rest of the world, we are, I think, keeping pace with where everybody is. Now, we just have to keep pace with them. We have to keep running this race. We have to get ahead. We have to make sure that our country is able to use this technology effectively. And for this, definitely, in addition to players like Habitat, we need large government agencies to support this technology. We need, whether it's the metros or whether it's infrastructure, other large infrastructure projects, we really need a lot of support for this technology. And it's only the government that can take the risk. Because whenever we adopt a technology, there is a long-term gain, might be the short-term pain. And this is where the government has to play a big role. Private players like Habitat have to play a role, and we hope with all this support, the technology actually takes off, and we probably can stay 10 years from now and say this is where it all started. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to let you know that our chief guest for the day is here. She is someone who does not require any introduction. Nonetheless, I shall attempt to make one. Esteemed delegates, it's my privilege to introduce the Honorable Minister of Finance and Corporate Affairs, Government of India, Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman ji. A stellar individual, a remarkable politician, and a breaker of barriers at that, having served many a political innings, including handling of critical portfolios for the nation building. She is a true icon, deserving of all accolades to her name. a truly empowered woman and inspiration for all of us. I welcome you, ma'am. We are deeply honored by your presence here today. Now, Professor Bhaskar Ramamurthy, Director of IIT Madras, would be delivering the keynote speech.
Honorable Minister for Finance and Corporate Affairs, Srimati Nirmala Sitharamanji, the Additional Solicitor General, Mr. Venkatraman, other distinguished members on the panel, my colleagues, and the founders of the startup Twasta. Let me first express my delight at being part of this event today. I had the good fortune of visiting the house that has been built on the campus a few weeks back, and I was quite blown over. So I just want to make the following points that roti, kapda, and makan are well known as the three pillars on which the basic requirements of a aspiring Indian are resting. They need to meet these three pillars. Interestingly, in the case of roti and kapda, we went through phases in the 80s and 90s where a lot of the uncertainty with regard to both availability, quality, and possibly the variability in the price, all of this slowly disappeared. Today, we don't worry too much when we buy some textiles and whether the cloth will tear within after the first wash or whether the color will run and so on and so forth. I remember when I was young, these used to be very common questions my mother used to ask when she bought anything. And the shopkeeper will try to convince her that these things won't happen. When you bought food items, you were not sure. The reason is what you were getting. Because the reason is you went from an environment where you bought from known people in your neighborhood, locally grown crops and locally made textiles, to a situation where distribution was coming from unknown sources and a lot of uncertainty was there. But in Makan, in house building, these problems remain. Today, buying a house is probably the most riskiest decision any ordinary Indian will make. We don't know whether the land titles are clean. We don't know whether the builder will build the house and complete it on time within the budget he promises. And we don't know whether the quality will be as promised. Everything is uncertain. You have to say with a prayer on your lips, you have to go through the whole process. We have also two different distinct classes of housing. India needs probably 7 to 10 million houses a year if you just do some simple calculations. Even more right now because many people don't have their first house. I mean, the house to live in fact. It's not just a question of replacement. And, we have two distinct classes. One, the high-rise urban, or at least reasonably high-rise urban. And then you have the what is called beneficiary-led semi-urban and rural housing. Whether it's affordable housing subsidized by the government or whether it's built by the individual, it's beneficiary-led in these cases. In the case of the urban housing, it is mostly builder-led. They make projects and people go and buy. These two are very different in terms of the technology requirements. And coming to today's event, I believe this technology which has been developed by these youngsters is the first one I'm seeing that is addressing the beneficiary-led housing requirement. Because there are many mass production technologies, using steel, using GFRG. We ourselves have developed this GFRG technology. It's very highly suitable for the builder-led big housing projects. Not very suitable for building individual houses, which are beneficiary-led, each one customized, different size, different requirements, different location, different times at which they are built, and so on. This particular technology appears to be highly suited for that, and that is what made me very, very interested in this when they showed it to me. So I exhorted these youngsters that work on this, make it in such a way that you take India from what you would fairly call industry 1.0 level in terms of house construction, methodology, technology, and quality assurance and everything, to straight away to the industry 4.0 level where beneficiary can actually see in software and feel in software through a walkthrough what they are going to get. You deliver exactly that. What you get will be what you see 3 weeks later on the plot and within the price. In 3 weeks, you can probably control the price and everything very well. It looks like this technology can get to that. Even the machine that is needed to build the house can probably be created in a manner similar, made available in a manner similar to these large borewell drilling units. Farmers drill borewells overnight, but they don't have to buy anything. They just have to order the guy, he'll come with this huge truck, set up the borewell drilling machine and drill it. So similarly, the machine for this house can probably be, rented that way. And really, it looks, without going into further details, I can tell you, it really looks like this can address the beneficiary-led house construction, large-scale house construction, high quality, quality assured, price assured. The land title issue is still not solved, but the rest of it can possibly be addressed very well through this technology. I want to congratulate the founders, and I want to thank the Honorable Minister for taking time out to give them encouragement by inaugurating their house they've built on the IIT Madras campus, a small one, as a proof of concept of what they have done. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. As you're aware, we are also joined here today virtually by Mr. Anup Nambiar, who is the country director for the Tel Villiger Center for Habitat for Humanity. Mr. Anup Nambiar.
Honorable Minister of Finance and Corporate Affairs, Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman, distinguished members from the government, industry, academia, and dear colleagues, good afternoon. It's an honor to join you today on behalf of Habitat for Humanity International. We are a global housing organization, and our vision is of a world where everyone has a decent place to live. The COVID-19 pandemic has highlighted the need for safe shelter now more than ever before. At Habitat's Terwilliger Center, we work with both families and industry to expand access to affordable housing. Twasta was part of the cohort of 7 housing startups that we accelerated in India in 2019, the world's leading platform for affordable housing innovation. And subsequently, we supported them with the completion of India's first 3D printed home. New technologies such as concrete 3D printing from Twasta offer advantages in terms of flexibility, quality, speed, and cost. We are excited about Twasta's work because it represents a new model for how companies, governments, and nonprofits can come together and reliably scale up affordable housing construction. Since 1976, Habitat for Humanity has helped 35 million people over 70 countries around the world to build and improve their homes. We would now like to share a message from our global CEO, Jonathan Reckford, on behalf of Habitat's International Network. Thank you once again for the opportunity to join you today. Our best wishes once again to Twasta on the occasion of the inauguration of the first 3D printed.
Thank you, sir, for your deep insights on the subject. Now, Aditya, co-founder, Twasta, and a very dear friend of mine who has shared this journey with me for over years now, shall brief us on the startup's vision. Over to you, Aditya.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Honorable Minister of Finance and Corporate Affairs, Sri Nirmala Sitharaman ji, Additional Solicitor General of India, N. Venkatraman ji, Professor Bhaskar, Anup sir. Thank you for joining us today, and other dignitaries who are attending this event online. Thank you very much for sparing time to attend this very important day for Twasta. This is very important for us because this is the culmination of 4 years of our hard effort and a result of thousands of failures and a few successes. And it is a great honor that you have spared your time to be here with us. Twasta is a Sanskrit word which stands for creation, building something out of nothing. And we are an innovation-driven startup which prides on our creativity. And here we are very happy to unveil our digital construction technology through which we intend to make housing and construction affordable for 1 billion Indians. We have developed this technology completely indigenously. We have developed this, including the machine, the material, and all the other aspects, including the printing strategy, completely in India. And we are extremely proud to contribute our very minimal bit towards making Bharat Atmanirbhar. The vision that we have for our company is to make housing, the very basic requirement for individuals, affordable for all. The numbers that we require in India are staggering. India itself requires about 100 million houses to be built, or 10 crore houses to be built by 2030. The world needs better housing for 1.5 billion people. And this simply cannot be delivered without including the new methods of construction. And that is what we are here to deliver. We are here to bring in a new digital method of construction through 3D printing. So I would just like to touch upon the very basic aspects that are required for 3D printing to really work. We require the machine or the 3D printer itself. We require a specific type of material, particularly composed concrete, which we are using. We require a software, and we require a printing strategy for every single structure, for every different type of building or bridge that we are building. The printing strategy is different. And we are very proud to say that we have developed this entire suite of technologies completely indigenously with the support of institutions such as IIT Madras. I would like to take you through a video of how the house was built and also how our technology works. So as Professor Bhaskar Ramamurthy rightly remarked, this technology is very specifically suited for beneficiary-led construction, where we can customize every single aspect of the building for the last individual, the individual customer. So we start with the mixed design or the proprietary concrete material. So currently we are doing it in a smaller scale within our factory hosted here in Chennai. So this is a material that we have completely developed indigenously and is very suitable for Indian conditions. India, of course, is a very cost-sensitive market, and hence we have developed it keeping those constraints in mind. Then we come to the software. So the software can take a virtual 3D design and start building the structure right away. So what you're seeing right now on your screen is the 3D printing process. So as you can see, once the design is fed into the 3D printer, the printing happens automatically. There is absolutely no human involvement. So this is the large-scale 3D printing factory that we have here in Chennai. We're very proud to say that every single aspect of the machine, the material, and the rest of the systems have been designed, manufactured, and developed in India, and we hold the patents for this. So as you can see, this is like a production plant. So we build the elements, and then the elements are taken to the site. So here we are using a 3D printing technology called off-site 3D printing. So we 3D print the elements at a different location and bring the elements to the final construction site. In the very next project that we are doing near Pondicherry, we will be doing on-site 3D printing that the printer itself will come to the final construction site. So you can see the house here. So it has been designed keeping the constraints of 3D printing or keeping the freedoms offered by 3D printing in mind and optimized for the process. As you can see, one of the aspects that we always mention to people who come to visit our house is it looks exactly like a conventional house. So, I mean, this might not be a great marketing pitch, but it gives a great amount of assurance to customers for whom a house is the most important asset that they will own in their lifetime. That the house that we build through 3D printing is not only of good quality, but will last for 50 or 70 years as it is designed without any problem. So as you can see, 3D printing offers us a lot of freedom for design and customization. And these are certain furniture elements that we have designed and printed to show the freedom that 3D printing offers. Yeah, so these are images of our factory that we have in Chennai. As you can see, it's a completely automated setup. So essentially what we are doing is we are bringing the power of automation and robotics to the construction industry. The automotive industry, which is the second largest industry in India after construction in terms of delivering GDP value, has become the backbone of Indian manufacturing. But construction has been unable to deliver that sort of capability to the nation because of its fragmentation and because of the reliance on conventional construction. That is what we are here to change. We want to offer affordable construction, customizable construction to every single consumer. So the advantages of 3D printing technology is one, of course, speed. We are talking about an order of magnitude reduction in time required. From months required to build a house, the house that we have built would have taken 4 or 5 months to build. But currently we are capable of building it in 5 days. This was our first house, so this took about 21 days to print. But moving forward, we will be able to considerably increase our speed, and our aim is to print a good house of about 700 square feet in about 3 days. So the vision that we have is to harness the ability of 3D printing and robotics to build multi-story structures, build an affordable house in about 3 days and a toilet module in about 6 hours. This can aid both the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana program that the government has and also the Swachh Bharat program. We have already 3D printed a toilet that was deployed elsewhere in Chennai. And one key aspect of the technology that we are building is it's completely deployable to rural areas. That is, we have developed this technology in such a way that it does not require electricity from the grid to run. It does not require a massive supply chain. So we can really take this technology to the rural centers in this country and offer it at an affordable cost to the final consumer. Thank you very much for being here again, for listening to what we have to offer. So I would request Honorable Finance Minister to inaugurate the House so that we can have a look at the structure that we have built.
I'm quite glad and happy to inaugurate the first 3D printed house in India.
Thank you, Aditya. Going ahead, now I humbly request our Chief Guest, Honorable Minister for Finance and Corporate Affairs, Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman ji, to address the august gathering.
The founders and also the bright minds behind Twasta Manufacturing Solutions, Director IIT Madras, who's the center of so many incubations which are happening in this area, and all dignitaries who are there attending this great function, invited guests. I feel very honored that you chose to have me today. I think this is a very inspiring and motivating event which I'd love to be a part of. I would have loved to be a part of. I'm being part of it today, so I feel extremely grateful. Thanks for having me here. What's shown in the small presentation is something which is very inspiring. India desperately needs such solutions which are in situ, which don't require much of a time. I was fully prepared to hear the designers tell me that they may take 2, 3, 4 months to build a house, but here am I hearing that you build a 3D designed house within 5 days. And with the Prime Minister's focus on affordable housing, with quite a lot of incentives being given for people who have to buy affordable houses, and with a goal which the Prime Minister has stated and reiterates quite a lot, housing for all by 2022, we have a huge challenge before us. A huge challenge of meeting that deadline and making sure people who need houses get it at affordable price. The government's incentives for that are available. But housing being fairly a complex business, which the Director IIT very briefly mentioned, conventional housing requires timing, material, logistics, which Aditya very clearly said, transporting of materials and so on. But if this is in situ and it can produce houses in different locales within 5 days per house, I don't think it will be a massive challenge for building 100 million houses by 2023. And this is what is the example which stands before us to show it is possible to design it, to process it, and to have it also delivered within India, with Indian minds, with Indian designs, and with Indian creativity. It tells me everything is Atmanirbhar, and the little presentation really shows from the idea till the finished house, even the equipments used, even the designs which are being put up there is all Indian. It's amazing. It's young mind which is delivering this, and India needs more of this. And today, this message sends such message of positivity and repeatedly showcases India and its abilities. I'm sure the young minds are conscious of India's varied requirements. India's varied requirements are more determined or influenced by the fact the geographical conditions vary from place to place. We need disaster resilient infrastructure. Houses being ramped up and built rapidly, particularly for areas which are in disaster prone areas, will have to have resilient materials being used so that those houses can weather the storm, as it were. Also for the rest of the areas where, whether they are in seismic zones or otherwise, you need houses which are going to be environmentally sustainable, which is what you've explained in your presentation. Above all, affordable. These are not going to be fancy houses which one idiosyncratic individual builds for himself to say, look, I'm conscious, therefore I had this fantastically scientific, magic coming up and working to have my house built. No, it has got to address the needs of the affordable population. So it has to be affordable in toto. And I was very impressed when I got to know that L&T had already built a 2-storied house somewhere in Kanchipuram in a 3D mode. All these things fascinate us when we try to sit and plan for a futuristic India, an India for 2050, and we've already started celebrating India's independence as the 75th year of India's independence sooner for the Amrit Mahotsav, by which time many such ideas, if they come out and are now in a stage where we can adopt them as the way in which you can rapidly scale up the number of houses which can be built and handed over to people. And therefore, without taking much of your time, I think the technology submission, which is working under the PMAY, Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, also has a thing called lighthouse projects. I'm sure all of you are familiar with it, wherein in Indore, in Chennai, also in Rajkot, and 3 other places, Lucknow and somewhere else, are building 1,000 houses through innovative technologies in each one of them. And I'm told the time they take is 12 months. And these are houses which are going to stand out as examples. But yours seems to be far lesser. So if these are houses which can be built in such a short time, and if policymakers sitting in different ministries who govern the affordable housing projects are familiar with the developments which are happening in your, in your experiment, which you've now shown, even the first house located in IIT Madras, India's set for a bright future in terms of meeting the target on affordable houses. We need rapid, in situ, and scalable models, and which is what you've shown today. So congratulations. Very impressive achievement by 2 young, bright minds. I wish Swastha Manufacturing Solutions all success. And as and when the government also is looking up for such examples, I'm sure your case would be top of the list. So good luck to all those who are supporting IIT Madras. Particularly, I support the director. I appreciate his efforts in encouraging such experiments, out-of-the-box ideas and innovative ways of doing things. Thank you very much for having me here, and good luck to all of you.
Thank you, ma'am. On behalf of Twista, IIT Madras and Habitat for Humanity, I take this opportunity to express my deepest gratitude to our chief guest, Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman ji, for inaugurating the structure and gracing the occasion. We are deeply blessed that despite the importance of her standing in the national order, the dearth of time at her end amidst the ongoing pandemic situation, Madam Honorable Minister is present here with us today, making this occasion that much more memorable. Moreover, we are truly humbled by the present Indian government's relentless intent in truly fostering upcoming startups like Twasta and thereby embracing indigenous technology solutions for the betterment of the nation. Thank you, Madam Honorable Minister, for your time. I am sure that the chance to be in your grateful presence and interact with your esteemed self has been singularly remarkable and yet immensely enlivening for most of us here today. It is said that every experience in life is a possibility for a new beginning. Likewise, I hope that your august presence here today marks the beginning of a new chapter for Twasta. Hopefully, one that will be written by the very hands of the present Indian government. Twasta, IIT Madras and Habitat for Humanity shall remember the guiding hand offered by your venerable self and shall continue forging many such pathways to aid the Indian government in its quest for economic upliftment. Special thanks to the Office of Ministry of Finance and Corporate Affairs for extending exemplary support in coordinating this event. Thank you. Jai Hind. I now request our guest of honor, Shri N. Venkatraman, Additional Solicitor General, Government of India, to assume the floor and address the gathering.
Dr. Bhaskar Ramurthy, Shri Anup Nambiar, Dr. Ravindra, Dr. Manu, and three talented young individuals, Vidya Shankar, Aditya, and Parivartan. What a day for India. I'm audible now? Yeah. As somebody was saying, Roti, Kapda and Makan, house is a national dream. House is a dream in India which cuts across every barrier, color, caste, religion, creed, race. Yeah. Every individual dream for a house, now the Honorable Prime Minister has inherited as his national dream. The government has inherited it as its own goal and mission. I'm thankful that a startup like Twasta is now going to be part of fulfilling this great national dream. I just had a chance to look into the PowerPoint slides prepared by Vidya Shankar and sent to me yesterday. I was amazed. As a non-engineer, what attracted me the most were the numbers. It looks to be a 10 trillion industry in the world. And the PPT says we will be able to cut down 30% costs. Which means if this project becomes big, grows big, becomes a vision for the future, we will be saving 3 trillions every year. It's not a small sum. It cuts down time, 500 square foot in 5 days, which means if you want 1,000 square foot flat, all you need is just 10 people, 10 days, and the house gets delivered. And that's why the Honorable Finance Minister was kind enough to say that what looked to be a challenge now may not look to be a challenge if this project is going to be scaled up. So, when these statistics are perceived to be real, and in fact can be executed as they showed it in their own PowerPoint, in their own show, small screen, then why not this become, why should it still remain only as a national dream? And why not it become a national goal as perceived by the Honorable Prime Minister and this government? So we are standing on a moment of pride. And the slide says, don't just be baffled by the numbers. We'll tell you why it cuts down by 3 trillion. Lesser usage of material. lesser wastage, lesser carbon footprints, and usage of more sustainable materials. This looks to be the concrete mix for transforming this ready to fix houses across India and across the world. We are now standing on a COVID situation for the last 1 year. Please remember which is the tribe which did not get stuck by COVID. You're all engineers. In a second you can answer it. The only community and the only tribe which stood and resisted COVID was people who kept innovating and people who are ready to transform to technology. Look at any industry, look at any business. If they could migrate from start to end to a technological solution and they kept innovating more and more, they were not stuck in spite of COVID. So your innovation will really appear magnificent for the reason you are giving low-cost houses and affordable houses and during a crisis time, because this is driven by technology. And your mission is making construction industry innovative and completely technology driven. I should say at this juncture, God bless you, Vidya Shankar, Aditya, and Parivartan, with the immense support of IIT and the Habitat of Humanities, which has stood by your sides as two pillars in your growth map. Well, we must thank the Honorable Finance Minister, as rightly said by Vidya. She is racing against time. And what possibly prompted the Honorable Minister to come and speak to you is, it is indigenous. It satisfies the parameters and norms of Atmanirbhar. And more importantly, it can transform the national dream of this government into a national mission. And therefore, in spite of all her priorities, she was kind enough to come and be part of this program. And before I conclude, I would just thought, because you are youngsters, I should leave this, conclude the speech, short speech with a message. All the three of you were blessed with abundant talent. Not many of your age could have come out with such brilliant ideas. So it's a gift of God that a pool of talent with three people supporting each other, understanding each other, and partnering each other have assembled together to assemble this quick fix ready-made houses. So 25% of what is needed in life has been achieved because you are talented. You had excellent gurus. In fact, what I loved in this program by all the directors and everyone else, instead of showcasing their own institute or showcasing their own priorities, they kept showcasing Tavasta, magnanimity of the professors involved in the project. And as I entered and I thanked the professors, they said, no, you should give this credit to the young boys. So you have excellent gurus, selfless gurus who are willing to guide you. You should remain grateful to them, and you should be very, very supportive to them throughout your life. Don't forget that. Third important is, you have now got a breakthrough, which you have been looking for quite a long time. This is a doorstep, a key to open up into a new magnificent era for you, IIT Madras, and also the humanities of Habitat of Humanities. So that 25% is also over. What you need finally is, this 25 makes up the entire 100. You need divine blessings in life, Vidya Shankar, Aditya, and Parivartan. Because obstacles can be managed, invisible obstacles can be managed only through divine power, those who believe in it. So at this moment, it's our opportunity to invoke whoever believes in whichever form. Think and pray for a minute before you actually transform the keys, hand over the keys to this project. I, for one, believe in my own spiritual guru, the Saint of Shringeri, and therefore, let me pray for their blessings. and I request each one of you to invoke divine play that all the four should work in conjunction, and you guys, three of you, as three musketeers of India, should be showcased, and we would like to see you soon being recognized in international forums of construction industry for pioneering this transformative technology. May God always be with you all, and be kind to human beings, be compassionate to human beings, be always Indian, and be always Atmanirbhar. God bless you. Thank you so much, please.
Thanks a lot, sir, for that wonderful speech. Now we have a congratulatory message from Mr. Jonathan Reckford, CEO, Habitat for Humanity International, United States of America.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Reckford, CEO of Habitat for Humanity International. I want to congratulate Tavasta, my colleagues at Habitat's Terwilliger Center for Innovation and Shelter, and all the partners who've come together to make today possible. Tavasta's 3D printed home is an important milestone for housing innovation and 3D printing technology. We are proud of the strides Tavasta has made since completing Habitat's ShelterTech Accelerator program in 2018, and we're excited to continue supporting their work. Housing innovation, particularly in the areas of construction materials and practices, is critical to addressing the affordable housing gap in India and around the world. As COVID-19 threatens to push millions of families back into poverty, we must continue to invest in affordable housing. Habitat's research shows that the housing sector represents up to 17.5% of India's GDP. Investments in housing keep families safe and healthy while also stimulating economic recovery. At Habitat, we are excited about Tavasta's work because it represents a new model for how companies, governments, and nonprofits can reliably scale up affordable housing construction. 3D printing can allow us to build homes more quickly and efficiently. With specially formulated concrete and designs, we can reduce waste and improve drying times. We are excited about what will come next for Tavasta. Congratulations to the team for this inauguration.
Moving ahead, now we have Professor
Hi.
Manu Santanam, who will be addressing the gathering next.
Respected Director, IIT Madras, Shri Bhaskar Ramamurthy, respected Additional Solicitor General of the Government of India, Shri Venkatraman, Shri Anup Nambiar from Habitat for Humanity, my colleagues from Department of Civil Engineering, other dignitaries, friends from Twasta, a good afternoon to all of you. Indeed, it's a wonderful occasion today that has brought us to the unveiling of this very unique structure that's come up on our IIT Madras campus. It is, as Aditya said, a culmination of effort over many years. Although we started from scratch, we started basically with nothing, and we've now ended up with a house. That's indeed a great achievement in the 4-year period that we've worked together. It was quite challenging in the beginning because we had to start looking at adaptation of various technologies and try to understand how best to make 3D printing work in an Indian context. The challenge of finding the right material proportions and working with them to understand the properties both in the fresh and hardened state was quite a challenge, and I had a very good PhD student who had worked on this topic and helped Twasta realize a good printable mix that could make their dream into a reality. This way we worked together. Twasta gave a lot of support in terms of printing. We did all kinds of prints. As Aditya said, many of them were failures, and we had a few successes on the way. And all this has led to ultimately development of this indeed unique sort of a house. The hope that we have is that with increasing support from agencies like Habitat for Humanity and also participation of the Indian industry, we'll be able to take this to the large scale and really make a difference where it matters. We really need to provide a large amount of houses for the country, and 3D printing is one of the solutions which can provide a technologically enhanced procedure to make a dream come into a reality. So on behalf of the entire Department of Civil Engineering and also my colleagues here, I congratulate Twasta on this wonderful effort, which has really brought them on par with many other 3D printing companies in the world. And I hope that our journey will continue further in the years to come. Thank you.
Now, coming to the last part of this wonderful day and occasion, I'm just picking up a little bit on what Additional Solicitor General of India, Shri N. Venkatraman, just mentioned in his address. No duty is more urgent than that of returning thanks. I am happy to have been given the pleasant duty of delivering the vote of thanks and this afternoon. It has been our tribute to host such an august gathering of distinguished individuals. We have been truly fortunate to have renowned identities from the government, academia, and industry here with us today. I would like to begin by thanking all the speakers for sharing their graceful words with us. I believe that we have been provided with a great deal of information to deliberate and act upon. On behalf of Twasta, IIT Madras, and Habitat for Humanity, I would once again like to express my deepest gratitude to our chief guest, Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman ji, for inaugurating the structure and gracing the occasion. I am also eternally grateful to the Additional Solicitor General, Shri N. Venkatraman, for not only his presence here today, but more importantly for being the bedrock upon which Twasta has grown to rely on. Sir, it was an honor and delight to acquaint ourselves your cheerful and candid self. You truly are a genuine inspiration for all of us here. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to Habitat for Humanity and the entire team from both India and USA for their unwavering support throughout the course of this project. Thank you for believing us until the end. I take this occurrence to thank Professor Bhaskar Ramurthy, Director IIT Madras, for being that tower of immense strength for Twasta to lean on both in the days of good and the not so good. Also, my gratitude to Department of Civil Engineering, particularly Professor Manu Santanam, Professor Koshi Varghese, and Professor Ravindra Gettu. Twasta would not have seen the light of its day but for your strong faith and encouragement from our days of yore. My special thanks to the Chief Security Officer of Indian Institute of Technology Madras for their efforts in smooth coordination of this event during a pandemic situation like this. To all the friends from media and press who are with us today, my sincere thanks for your earnest presence despite the short notice. They say that a true mark of good organization is its ecosystem, but that of a great organization is its team. In this respect, I would like to express my deep sense of appreciation towards the entire team of Twasta. Hats off to all your hard work, perseverance, positive thinking, and thank you for years-long effort that made this day possible. Success, the frame fruit, is that much sweeter when shared with you all. May our journeys and stories continue to be enmeshed, written together on this great pursuit of those endless horizons. I would like to take this opportunity to thank Mr. Rami Reddy, the backbone of our entity, that stronghold both financially and other aspects from within which the seed that was Twasta found nurture and grew to be the sapling that it is today. Lastly, I would like to take a moment and acknowledge the support and efforts of our mentor, Mr. P.A. Murli sir. We would not have been where we are today had you not held our hands and shared this dream of Twasta with us. Thank you, everyone. Wishing you a very pleasant evening. Thanks a lot once again.